Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so this is I heard right 11, right? Do a Life Path 11 reading. Okay, so this is for Life Path 11. I took a little bit of time, right? And I was going through the cards to make sure all of them are turned the right way, and I noticed that it was only a few of them that were turned the opposite way, right? So I went on ahead and pulled those cards out, right? So the overall message for Life Path 11 is change. What was really coming to me a whole lot is how many hats do you wear? That's going to be one part of this. Okay, Life Path 11. The other portion of this is going to be in reference to, I'm getting like a wrap up of varying things. So you want to pay that some attention as well. Then, in addition to that, Life Path 11, you got a few different people in this whole little situation that's coming into this change, right? That's part of the reason why it's like, okay, who it is giving the ideal set of who do you model yourself after, all right? So you got overall essence of change. Then you have the main male, lovers, mature man, wealthy man, and distant horizons. It's a lot of different players in this situation, right? Some of this is given it is going to be talking about some partnerships or some situations that will be going on overseas that you would need to pay attention to. The other portion of it is giving, if we're going to be talking about zodiac signs, right now, you guys, we are in a Virgo Pisces axis, so you want to pay that some attention. Making good decisions as a young adult so that you can get to old age. Part one, part two is going to be about, ouch, who it is you have around you. All right, you can make I say who it is you have around you because you can make good decisions with negative influences around you, but because it's like in your mind, it'll automatically make you operate in the ideal set of, okay, this is what I don't want later on down the line, right? And then you can also make the same types of good decisions when there are those who are really influential and really positive around you, right? So paying that some attention as well, okay? All right. Now the other portion, yeah, because this is giving a meeting. It's giving a meeting for real from what it is I'm seeing go on. What it is to be a lover is something is one part. The other portion of it is given what would have been learned and taught during that Gemini Sagittarius axis and during Mercury. Whenever Mercury goes retrograde, it's like you finna get a combination of all of them. It's gonna be what this some of these conversations and some of this stuff is gonna be in regards to, especially if you're gonna be changing who it is that you're dealing with. Oh my goodness, man. The other thing I'm getting from this is know your network and know your circle. Yeah, cause for a nice little second, the League of Distinguished and Extraordinary Gentlemen is something. The whole Sean Connery being clean cut, right? Clean cut and mystical and all that other good stuff. Okay, I'm not pulling all that out. Ooh, if it's meant to come out, it'll come out. In this spiritual contract, right? Spiritual contract or right? Got spiritual contract, verbal agreements, however it is this is gonna come into place. You got the mature man aspect that comes with this, the angelic aspect of Scorpio, or the doing the love. Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But what it is when one loves themselves and the cup that they hold is for them, is them. And what happens with the alchemical process and knowing what patience is and what patience looks like. Now, this other thing, right, that was ironic about this is with the main male and the lovers, there being the Seven of Swords. Some of this is going to be about a week. Some of this is going to be in regards to for real, the strategies it is that is taken with being a lover. Being a lover, having a lover. One of the things that before I was going to sleep, right, it was coming to me a whole lot, y'all. It was like I was sitting in on this conversation, and the biggest portion of it that I can recall is what the pull from the conversation is what I'll say that I can recall is people have a tendency to respect you more when you're in a committed relationship because the relationships you have in house represent the types of relationships you'll have outside of the house. There'll be a direct reflection because that'll be what you're giving the most attention to. Oh, okay. It'll also tell you about the prejudices that come into place with it. All right. Now, the other portion of this is Uranus being retrograde and there being reciprocation during and what Uranus retrograde is bringing in for you. It's going to be bringing in that reciprocation of the Six of Pentacles and healthy finances. And what goes on when one starts, some of it is given star seed and what it is that wouldn't be healed. And what it is to not be rebellious and reciprocating. In a distant horizon, that's where that lovers is coming into place. Being a long-term lover. Long-term lover, long-term love. Okay. I got it, y'all. And then there being this influence of within, it's stealing the strategy of holding on. How it is one would strategize holding on. Now, the irony that comes into place with this is it's like a breakdown of the Ten of Pentacles. The breakdown of the Ten of Pentacles is reciprocation and holding on. It also looks like, because this looks like some stuff is trying to manifest and the way that it would manifest in regards to there being the one walking in what it is that would be projected, part of it. The other is what the spirit that's guided in love, intimacy, the presentation of a cup, and the presentation for reconciliation. What presentation of reconciliation is and what it looks like. And then there being this, then there being this abuse that'll come into place. That was the abuse, okay? That was the abuse that would come into fruition, or there would be non-action, one not having action. Inaction and inability. What it is to be a lover. Then there being recognition. And sure, how one would recognize that within the ambitions and within this structure that there is misfortune. Being out of season is the being out of the season of Capricorn. Being out, and what happens to and with and for you with Capricorn season. And the misfortune of one's ambitions. That would be what it is that's manifesting or would manifest. What you got going on right now. So in this contract or verbal whatever, however this is going, first and foremost, recognition has to come into place. After recognition comes into place, then there is this walking in the reconciliation. What constitutes as reconcile and what constitutes as betrayal and the apologies, right? Walking in the apologies and what it is to be apologetic. One of the things that's really coming into place with this, yeah, because all of this is coming in every last one of these situations is shrouding the mature man. So if you're looking at this from you as you within being a mature male, right, or maturing as a male and accumulating, gaining wealth, You have to pay attention to the different levels that things come into place. The spirit is, there's always a spirit watching. Part one. Part two, there's always a connectivity. We have a tendency to look at this higher order one, right? In a lover's card as that being the say all end all, this is what love looks like, right? But then, and then there is this other side, right? Within the ambitions for connectivity. See, in the top portion, they aren't connected. They're both just really vulnerable. At the bottom portion with this devil card, right? That's when there's the connectivity at the sacral and root chakra, right? Now that doesn't, if you ever paid attention to the way that it comes, the lover's portion happens first on your journey, 1111, and then the Capricorn portion happens next or last or close to the last. But there has to be fortune that comes into place before the Capricorn essence happens. I hope that makes sense. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Now, because some of it that is given is whether or not an individual knows about those sayings. You got to pay to play. That's part of it. The other portion, no, because the other portion of it is about finance and whether or not a person is misfortunate, and if you would have had sex with a person that was a poor spirits. Oh no, 11, intuitive, intuitive. The illusion. What's clearing out is the illusion of the illusion and the option of not being a queen of pentacles, of being dirty, but the option of materialistic and materialism. And the divine guidance that comes into place with one not being emotionally stable. Why it is one wouldn't be emotionally stable in regards to Page of Pentacles reverse, not having a small offer of stability, and then there being this injustice. Now, in the alchemical aspect, or being an angel, right, or the patience or patient aspect. What you want to pay attention to is this Page of Pentacles reverse, right? One not making an offer, and realistically not being a teenager, and not being a teenager, for real. The last portion of it is justice. It being an injustice and an imbalance. In the alchemical aspect, this is going to be talking about what would be going on that would be justified. All right. Okay, so 5 of Cups, the disappointment with one's impatience, part 1. That came on top of the wealthy man, and then the other portion of it is the shifting of the emotion and the willpower, with one being Earthbound Angel and Sagittarius, the essence. And this other part of it is the disappointment that comes with Jupiter being retrograde, what your Jupiter essence is in. Pay attention to your Jupiter sign. Pay attention, Life Path 11. Also pay attention to your Saturn sign, because with Saturn being direct, there being misfortune. So pay attention to what's in your Saturn. Pay attention to what's in your Jupiter. Yeah, because those two went direct right around the same time. I think they went direct within a week of each other. Yeah, if you would have been feeling, kind of woozy, queasy, or getting an uptake. And then in addition to that, it was, there's this Mercury aspect, right, with this Lover's card. So you got high vibrational Gemini, Capricorn, Sagittarius, some of the fixed mindsets that come into place with these planets and what they represent in the growth or in growth. And then you got Neptune. You got the Hangman reverse, Knight of Pentacles reverse, Eight of Swords reverse. So some stuff being out of one's mind, out this world. The Hanged Man, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Uh, what it is to be delusional, and what it is to stand on what's real. Stand on what's real. Stand on what really happened. Within one being in isolation, and within not even necessarily only within one being in isolation, but within one coming out about different things that would have happened in isolated and insulated events or incidents. Ooh. And the passion new beginning that comes with one being a tyrant, with being, I'm saying a tyrant, but being outside of emperor energy, and there being some cycles that are incomplete. Oh my goodness. So ultimately, Life Path 11, you got to pay attention to what it is that wouldn't have been projected. It's not about what was seen, it's about what isn't seen. Okay, Life Path 11. And honestly, typically that'll be what um, a lot of people like to focus on. They always pay attention to what they see, but it's a lot of behind the scenes situations that can go on and come into place. Okay, Life Path 11. So pay attention to what will be going on behind the scenes, especially if you're feeling disappointments in regards to what something would look like. You also have to, it's realistically gonna be about the shifting of the inspiration. How you shift it. Let's grab these wisdoms real quick, and then we can hop off of here. Whoa, movement, the novice. I'm hearing ludicrous. The eagle, spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm, the overall essence of the eagle. One of the fun facts, eagles, I want to say like every 40 or 50 years, they go through this process, right? And in this process, they end up taking, they have to break their beak, they got to break their talons, and it's like all their feathers fall off. And then they can either die or they can fight through it and then get all new stuff grow back. So, and they have to do it to themselves. That's one of the things. The other thing that happens with eagles, with their children, right? What they do is, after so long, they start moving the feathers away from the nest in order for them to be able to get more work done on themselves as children so that they can get out of the nest. After they get out of that nest, right? Or not after they get out of the nest, it's a whole bunch of thorns at the base of the nest. After all, you get all them thorns at the base of the nest, they start feeling them. Then, if the kid still doesn't leave, mommy eagle takes the eagle and drops it out and makes it fly. Do you want to go through it that way, or do you want to just leave on your own? Basically, it's kind of what that boils down to. Now, this could be a physical, this could be a spiritual. I'm not sure exactly how it goes. But what I will say is, yeah, because it could be literal or it could be figuratively. And right now, a lot of this is going to be about the thought or the way you think of things. Okay, Life Path 11. That's what it's going to be about. Okay. So the wisdom that comes into place with movement and being the novice and the phoenix. And this is a lot of bird references. So just pay attention to the fact that it's a lot of bird references for this, okay? Meaning you got to spread your wings, fly. You got to see exactly what it is that you can see. And also pay attention to what I'm thinking is animagus. Understand what that is for you, and it'll be how it is you connect to your own personal spirit animals, okay? So hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit, gave you a tad bit of an inclination of a few things it is that will be going on. If you'd like to schedule me for your own personal touch or clarity, you are more than welcome to do so at lightworkandlightworkllc@gmail.com, okay? Let's see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not like work. It's not like work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work